Welcome to Driven, the Unscripted Success Podcast, with your hosts, Mike Mannino and Nareman Hamdan, bringing you insights and stories on achieving personal, professional, and financial success.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Nareman Hamdan here with Driven Unscripted Success. Today, zooming in from beautiful South Carolina, right on the water, we have a builder and investor, real estate investor, Mr. Mike Mannino Sr. Mike is originally from Michigan. He moved to Florida about 2-3 years ago, and he's got a ton of experience in real estate, capital. He's worked with some really, really big private real estate investors that are pretty well versed in syndicated investments in all sorts of real estate properties. So, Mike, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Nareman. That's awesome.
Awesome. Great to have
Thanks for the
you.
intro.
Absolutely. I mean, thanks for coming on the show. We're excited to have you.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, thank you. We're
Good.
very welcome. Enjoying it.
All right. So, Mike, can
Yes.
you give us a quick snapshot of your business right now? What you do, what your company does, all that good stuff.
Sure. It's multifaceted. We're in real estate investing. I have a couple flip companies, one in Florida, one in Michigan. Also, we have a investment company in multifamily. We've been getting into multifamily lately, and it's just been the best of the best. We find distressed assets, we fix them up, and then we have investors come in and help us invest with them. And then we fix them up and then sell them. So what we're trying to do is be the easy button for real estate. A lot of people out there, I gotta get this speech down. A lot of people are looking for real estate investing, and we're just basically the easy button for it. You know, we have people come in and partner up with us and invest in multifamily, and we make tons of money and have a great time and not pay taxes on it. I can't say that either. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
We have people invest in our properties and generally don't pay taxes on the money that they get back.
Well,
It's kind of cool.
that's wonderful. I mean,
I got to get that. You got to get that speech down.
okay. Well, that sounds like a wonderful opportunity for investors to come in, especially getting a tax break on their income. So that's fantastic. I know there's a lot of competition in the real estate market space that you're in. What sets you apart? What comes easy to you that others find challenging?
Well, my whole life in building, flipping, and doing all this stuff is very difficult. And after a while, it becomes easy. If you do something repetitively, it becomes easy. So, flipping these apartment complexes is wild as it sounds. That's what we do. As we buy them, we fix them up, and then we sell them. Is easy to me. So what I do is I make it easy for the investor. A lot of investors would try and do something like this and burn and fail, dealing with the contractors, dealing with the banks, dealing with the title companies, dealing with the just all the facets to multifamily. We do it on a regular basis. So all we do is help people come into a property, become an LP partner, and then when we sell the property, they make good money and don't pay taxes on the money that they make. So what it sets us apart is just basically the ease of operations.
So you really do generally care about the seller and hearing what their situation is and helping them out where it benefits both you and them, is what it sounds like.
Well, one of our companies is called Reciprocity, which means everybody benefits. And that's been my motto since the beginning of time. So when I was in business, contracting out a property, fix it up and make sure that the homeowner's happy, make sure that my contractors are happy, and make sure I was happy. So everybody wins. Now we're coming to the point where if we flip a multifamily, the person that we buy the property from, we want them to be happy because they got out of their problem basically. And then, my contractors, I make sure they're happy, and I make sure our investors are happy. When we sell the property, everybody wins.
That's fantastic. What a great way to do it. I'm sure you've got a lot of referrals from that as well,
That's,
from
we've
family
got,
and friends that that you've helped. So that's fantastic. What a way to give back. Um, so if someone, oh, I'm sorry. If someone listening to us now wants to get better at what you're doing, with helping sellers and buyers, what do you suggest they do, and what tips would you give them in this industry?
um, that's a good question. There's, no, for me, it all boils down to I'm a martial arts instructor, and Sun Tzu, The Art of War says, know your opponent as you know yourself. You need not fear 100 battles. And if people know their market, the people that they're helping, and everybody involved, and they know their self, it'll generally just be a exponentially great experience for everybody. But the big thing that most people miss from that Sun Tzu quote is knowing yourself. If you know your market and you know all parties involved, but you don't know what your strengths and weaknesses are, you're not going to be as helpful as you possibly could be.
Makes sense. If you're not confident in who you are and what you're looking to do, and how can you be confident in anything else and back
That's
it up?
perfect.
So
Yeah, that's perfect.
that's so such a beautiful quote and so dead on.
Well, that
So
was written 500 years before Jesus Christ, and is still taught today at West Point. That
and
book.
it's just that simple, you know. If only people understood it that simply. I mean, it says it
Keep,
all.
keep it
That's
simple,
great.
stupid.
So what is one of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome in your career?
Um, that's a good one. So, what's the biggest challenges I've had? Biggest challenges I've had is um the first one. Whatever the first problem is always the hardest. Because once you solve it, you know how to solve it from here on in. So all of the first ones were my hardest.
That
You
makes
know,
sense.
the first time a building department said, "No, you're not going to be able to do this," or we were flipping it. We were doing a show called Life Remodeled, where this crazy pastor comes up to me and says, "God wants me to build a house in 6 days." We started the process of building a house in 6 days, and then day two, the inspector calls me up and says, "We're going to shut you down." So whenever those problems pop up, I'm a million 755,000 of problems that I've solved to zero. So no matter what the problem is, I know I'm going to solve it, but it's always that first one that pops up that's the hardest one.
Yeah, which makes sense. What a great answer. It is always the first one when you explain it that way. It's that unknown territory and you just get thrown that curveball and it's like, what do you do? You
Right.
know,
And there's always going to be curveballs. There's just always going
always,
to be curveballs. But
always.
once you, like you said it best, once you have the confidence in yourself, I thought about it one time. Someone was talking to me and they said, what do you do when a problem happens? I'm like, I fix it. That's what I do for a living. And I'm 1,795 problems to zero. I've never not solved the problem, so you're going to solve it. If you know you're going to solve it, then why should you worry about it? You just got to figure out how to solve it.
Yeah, that's well said. Very well said. Well, Mike, it sounds like things are going well for you and your business. A lot of real estate investors are looking towards the future and at how they can create passive income to enhance or even replace their current active income. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, that's been my focus for the last, 5, 10 years. I've been very blessed to do well in business, and then now what am I going to do with my blessings is probably show other people how to do it. So what we do is we put it in multifamily, and then it multiplies. The best way to describe it is when you have a little something, when you have $1, you don't sit on it. You deploy it to make more money. It's like soldiers making more soldiers.
I like that.
Once you get to the point where the soldiers are making more money than you can make actively, then you don't have to work anymore. So that's what I'm trying to show people, how to actually make more money than they can do with their current income.
I like that. Deploy the green soldiers.
Deploy the green soldiers. And I like that. Deploy the
Onward.
green soldiers. And
That's
they just start
fantastic.
making more money. And you can't do it all. You cannot do it all. Your money has to do it for you.
That's great. So here's a question I like to ask my guests. If you were knowing what you know today, if you were looking at your 30-year-old self, what would you tell that guy?
That guy was pretty sharp. I don't know. So I would say get more into multifamily. That was the only thing. I loved what I did. I had the kids, the wife, the beautiful house. I had everything. I had people working with me. It was awesome. It was beyond, I don't think I'd want to give that up. I'd still do that and dabble into the multifamily because time in multifamily multiplies income. I'd be way better off now if I started earlier.
Got it. So you told yourself to start earlier, knowing what you know today about the business. That's fantastic. So, Mike, as we're wrapping up our interview, what exciting plans or initiatives do you have in the works for the next 6 to 12 months? What do you got
Oh,
going
we're
on
just
there?
we're showing people how to invest in multifamily, and it's amazing. We got a couple projects coming up that people can invest and do nothing and make money. It's literally passive income. Passive income is generally not taxable. It's the best kind of income, and we got this multifamily. We're planning on building 30 houses in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we've got openings for people to invest in it. And we're planning on building some multifamily in North Carolina. We're trying to get near well, I don't know. I can't speak too loud on that one because I don't want people to see where we're planning on building. And then finding multifamily all through the United States. So just showing people, just connecting properties with people. That's all we've been doing, and
Excellent.
that we're planning on doing for the next 6 to 12 months.
Well, that sounds like an excellent opportunity for anyone looking for to make passive income.
It really is.
So, Mike, thanks so much for your time today and sharing some insights and tips with us. If people would like to connect with you, what should they do? How do they get a hold of you?
Sure. Arc Investment Ventures. You can contact me at Mike at AIVenturesLLC.com. My phone number, 248-202-7357. And just hit me up on email, which is through the Arc Investments.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Mike, for being here. Appreciate you.
No problem. It was a pleasure.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to Driven, the Unscripted Success Podcast. Want to share your story? Apply to be a guest at drivensuccesspodcast.com/guest.